I think, first of all, the thing that we really aspire to constantly is quality.
Star Wars is a franchise with no direction. Ever since Disney bought it, they've haphazardly pumped out movies and shows that only seem to turn enthusiasm from fans into complete apathy. The new trilogy, marred by poor writing and a fundamental misunderstanding of the franchise in and of itself, has been a disaster. The misguided attempts to attract more female fans were driven by either Kathleen Kennedy's hubris or Disney's marketing department. It has only added to the franchise's woes. Women will never go into debt buying Star Wars tchotchkes like they do for Gucci, Prada, and lip fillers.
The world economy is in free fall, on the brink of recession. But 20-year-old Amanda Nabulsi couldn't care less.
How much do you spend a week on your credit card?
Oh, 1,500?
Since owning Star Wars, Disney has yet to turn a profit on the deal almost 10 years later. An IP that was once a license to print money only loses it now.
Disney has not recouped any of the production costs and instead returned a loss for each and every single show or movie they have released on the platform, Disney+. As simple as that. So profit for Star Wars after we deduct production costs for the various TV shows is $3.6 billion.
They spent about $4 billion or more on it.
We really aspire to constantly is quality.
For every bright spot in the Disney-era Star Wars, such as Rogue One, Andor, the first season of The Mandalorian, there were a litany of failures, each one worse than the last. Instead of learning from these mistakes, the fans were blamed for the poor reception. The media machine tried to gaslight all criticism as race-driven, a sad tactic left over from the 2016 era journalism that's now used on your average Twitter user.
Toxic fandoms. Hollywood is battling fans who are just out for blood, from social media boot camps to superfan focus groups.
This article recants the Acolyte star who did an 8-minute Instagram coping session for her show everyone knew that would be being canceled. It also blamed the failure of Obi-Wan Kenobi on the fans, being too racist against Moses Ingram, when in all actuality, she was another weak link in a bad show that had so little fan support, Hasbro couldn't sell her lightsabers on a GoFundMe.
It's over. We are screwed.
Disney also got a poor reception on another Daisy Ridley-led Star Wars trilogy. Their lack of interest was written off as misogyny.
Star Wars lead Daisy Ridley says she pays no attention to negative criticisms of Rey's character. I cannot change the way that some men see women.
No, Daisy, you're a very bad actress. The highlight of her career was The Toast of London, where they gave her one line. That's all she can handle.
On the pavement, I knew him actually, Derek Sibling.
Derek Sibling, the actor?
Yes.
Wasn't he supposed to be very good?
Very good. Brightest in his year would rather. Trot out one of the best. Won't bore you with the detail.
The character of Rey is just as one-dimensional as Daisy Ridley's acting chops.
Stop him!
Glamour magazine named Jodie Turner-Smith Woman of the Year, which means fall, since Dylan Mulvaney held that title last year.
Oh, someone please stop him!
This woman is one of those perpetual victims of Hollywood that seem to be doing fantastic, having a career that you, for some reason, didn't know existed till she did Star Wars. Did I mention she's a virtue-signaling, typical celebrity? If she isn't finding Star Wars patriarchal, she's saying we don't get to fail upwards like a lot of white men. The irony is she's married to a white dude. So how can you even have this stance, but you're married to a white guy in Hollywood? It doesn't make sense. It's like, oh my God, he's such a raging drunk. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna have some heroin. But she took the time to ask for censorship of fan criticism.
They've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting dogpiled on the internet with racism and bullshit. It's just not fair. It's not saying anything. It's really unfair.
The Woman of the Year, everybody, sulking about no one liking her show. Maybe she should hang out with Lady Gaga. They could both cope together over the recent pile of shits they both put out.
It would just be nice if people that have all the money were showing their support and putting their foot down. Say this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make a really big statement and just see if any money leaves.
The money left!
I bet you it won't, because people of color and especially black people make up a very large percentage of buying power. They might find that it's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word.
It is a dirty word. And black people are more interested in off-white Jordans that are releasing next year in 2025, canary yellows, than they are in Star Wars. Get out of here, lady. No, Fluffy, bad little monkey.
We're gonna get there at some point, to the place where people stop having a stick up their ass about people of color being part of IPs that were created by white people. You know why? Because we're never going to stop participating.
This woman is absolutely delusional. She doesn't understand that it wasn't the fact that she was black. It was just a really bad show. It was poorly written. It was stupid. Yesterday, the Star Wars Secrets of the Clone Troopers revealed the new trans clone trooper named Sister.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fucking fine.
Ever notice there's never any trans male characters?
When in doubt, virtue signal it out. Disney has been pursuing this course of action for years now. Remember this little gem?
Disney Plus Star Wars leans towards exploring Luke Skywalker's LGBTQ identity.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Did you ever hear the story of Darth Trannies the queer?
Stop him!
The whole idea of clones with their own personalities was always dumb to me. But it worked for the Bad Batch because they were a bad batch of clones and it was a kids' TV show. A human mass-produced only for the purpose of war, and as soon as the Emperor put out the call for Order 66, they turned on longtime friends and Jedis. But this one had time to think about their gender identity and fit those braids into that very small clone trooper helmet. And I'm not joking. An accurate to scale Phase 3 clone trooper helmet barely fits the human head. So how you get dreads in there or braids, I don't even. And also, how come in a galaxy far, far away, a trans clone would choose to paint their armor in trans flag color from our galaxy? Like they don't have a color of their own? Wouldn't that make more sense? But I guess when you're doing representation and diversity, it has to be like literally on the nose because these people lack creativity.
I don't like them putting chemicals in my Star Wars that turn the freaking clone troopers gay.
I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
You aren't even allowed custom colors as a standard clone trooper. If you're in the 501st Legion, you get one blue stripe, and that's it. There is no deviations. So frankly, it doesn't make sense on a lot of levels, but then again, use the Force, blah, blah, blah. Reactions were mostly negative for the character, and that's understandable. Hear me out. Star Wars used to be about good versus evil, an adventure. Now it's about representation and sexuality, which seems to be Disney's focus. Where's the escapism? It's gone. It's long gone.
I think there's nothing better than Star Wars to escape into right now when everybody is experiencing a lot of tough things happening in the world today.
Kathleen Kennedy wants to leave on a high note, but I don't think it's coming until she is gone. That's what she doesn't understand. Choices like these may make a small subsect of the fan base happy, but at what cost? When you kind of alienate the large majority of the fan base that actually buy your stuff religiously or care enough to even complain. When do you say, maybe we need to entertain people again, rather than pandering to them like children? I may not know much, but I know this for sure. DEI is where intellectual properties and creativity go to die. With enough time and fan apathy, no franchise can survive. Oh well,